I'm Alderperson Jocasta Zamarripa, and I represent the 8th Aldermanic District on Milwaukee's near south side, where I was born and raised. I'm a proud alum of UW Milwaukee. It's been an honor to represent our community, both at the state level, as I served 10 years in the state legislature as a state representative before leaving to run for common council here in the city of Milwaukee. I'll speak to my perspective as a renter and an elected official. It is a very unique perspective that I have as a renter here in the city of Milwaukee and as an elected official. I think there was a time during my political career that I felt a little badly that I wasn't a homeowner like so many of my peers, and yet now, especially as I work on this growing MKE legislation around zoning, I feel that it gives me a unique perspective because I am a renter like so many of our constituents are in the city of Milwaukee. And so I bring that to the table with my colleagues who are homeowners. And I think both perspectives are needed. And speaking to some of the hardest part of my housing journey, I think of my family as well when I think of this question. I have seen family members lose their homes trying to get into that first home that they were going to own, and then unfortunately run into difficulties and ultimately lose that opportunity. I am the child of a single teen mother, and we moved a lot. So there were times when I lived oftentimes in a duplex. I remember for many years we lived in a Polish flat on the near south side. There were many times when we lived with family. My grandmother did own a home in the Clark Square neighborhood across the street from Mitchell Park. I think that the community plays a very important role. I hope that they will come on board during this legislative process of updating our zoning plans in the city to ensure that there's a diversity of housing options that will ultimately, I believe, help bring down the high cost of rent in our city. And we need the community support if we're going to make these big changes. So I want them to come to the table, ask the questions, and help us get this over the finish line. So what are my hopes for the future regarding my housing situation? I do have this great idea that my sister is a first-time home buyer. Just a couple of years ago, she bought her first home. She was lucky enough to purchase it on a double lot. As we talk about updating the zoning code, and in particular the accessory dwelling unit, she and I have talked about and dreamed about the possibility of building a tiny home on that double lot, perhaps for our mother to live in, because our aging mother lives with her right now, and or myself. For now, renting allows me to assist my sister in this endeavor of purchasing her very first home. Whenever she needs a little bit of help, I find myself in that position. What is my response when people vilify renters as being transients and not committed to the neighborhood or the community? It's certainly hard for me to hear those comments. The perspective that I hold as an elected official and a renter, I have been able to push back. Very recently, someone made a statement about not wanting to have a fourplex right next door to them. And I was able to say, then you don't want me to live next door to you because I live in a fourplex. But I think we often, and even I think I'm guilty as an elected official of this, we're so focused on that longtime homeowner who's on the voter roll and has been at that same house for 15 years. And yes, that's a beautiful thing, and we need to target that homeowner, but we need to spend some time organizing our renters who are perhaps newer to the neighborhood. But if we can make that connection, perhaps we can get them to make that connection and that commitment to their community, to their neighborhood, and to the polling booth on election day, and so on and so forth. Just kills me that we have these out-of-state, outside of the city investors buying up housing stock. And let me just tell, if I could share with the public, they're doing it right now. They are buying our aging housing stock right now. They own all of these homes, and then they're renting them out to our people, and they're not updated, they're not modernized, they're not invested in our neighborhoods. They're already doing it now. I know sometimes zoning code can be hard to wrap our minds around. Honestly, I struggle with it too. I got to take that extra time, but it's worth it. Come and learn more. You can come on the city website and type in Growing MKE, and you can pull up all kinds of information on it. Reach out to my office, to the mayor, to your alder, and get informed, because we need your support. Join us, because it's only going to mean lowering the skyrocketing cost of housing for you, your family, your neighbors, and the city across the board.